Greenville city leaders say progress is being made on the new African American Cultural Trail. The trail is an app-based program. It'll take you along sites that includes places to stop and things to hear. The first stop is the new Sycamore Hill Gateway Plaza at the town common. It will eventually complete its run on the other side of the Tar River. The trail will take you to other places like the Roxy Theater, the Epps Heritage Site, and locations of Greenville's early Black-owned businesses. Project leader Andrew Schmidt says that due to the pandemic, progress hasn't moved as fast as they would like. They say they're determined to tell the county's rich history.
We want to make sure that that history is told and that it's shared, and that people can not only, experience that history as best they can through audio interviews and pictures, but also learn from it as well.
The trail's soft launch will be around June 19th, which is also known as Juneteenth. Other news across our state, U.S. Senator Thom Tillis is now recovering from surgery earlier this week to treat prostate cancer. The senator announced his diagnosis late last month. He told the media today that he's thankful for his medical team. He says he's blessed to have his wife by his side and is grateful for everyone who has lifted them up and sent well wishes. Of course, stay with WNCT for the latest updates. Taking a gamble on your favorite team could lead to more schools being built in North Carolina. That's the pitch from a bipartisan group of state lawmakers looking to legalize sports betting in the state. Our Capitol reporter Michael Hyland is in Raleigh with how quickly this could be allowed.
The bill would allow people to bet on professional teams like the Hurricanes and also on college sports as well. But opponents say it's a risk not worth taking. Whether it's football, basketball, or hockey, you may be able to put some money on the line for your favorite team. A bipartisan group of lawmakers want to legalize sports betting in North Carolina.
It's going to happen. There's bookies everywhere. I mean, shoot, I got one on speed dial.
Hearing from people like Rob Johnson, Democratic Senator Paul Lowe says it makes sense for the state to regulate this and make money off it.
We need more money for education. You got to do it some kind of way. And it's not going to drop out of the air.
He and Republican Senator Jim Perry are the primary backers of a bill to allow betting on professional, college, electronic, and amateur sports. There would be an 8% tax, which would go toward education and a new fund to promote major events in the state. The state would allow between 10 and 12 licenses to be granted for online companies. The Lottery Commission, which generates money for education, would oversee this. Lowe says it would help in communities that have struggled to get funding to build schools.
When you look at all that's happened because of the pandemic, it has pulled the cover off of all the disparities.
John Rustin, the head of the conservative North Carolina Family Policy Council, says it's a step too far. He warned that it would entice more people to gamble and causing some to develop pathological gambling issues.
It's going to bring jobs. It's going to bring business. If you like anything, moderation.
The senators behind this bill are also behind another one that would regulate horse racing in North Carolina. They estimate the bill to regulate sports betting would generate $50 million a year for the state. In Raleigh, Michael Hyland, 9 on your side.
A group of Michigan high schoolers are bringing their tutoring service to North Carolina. Connect Me is a way to provide free tutoring to students in need. The service offers help to kids who come from lower income backgrounds. Now, those kids whose parents are considered essential workers can also receive help, and virtual learners are welcome to get help.
They're loving to learn. That's something that we want to encourage, not just doing good in like a test or a homework assignment, but learning how to love school in general. That leads to a successful career.
The program is expected to continue even after schools go back to in-person learning. Coming up at 6, a new bill that would help cut down on distracted driving, how it helped reduce the number of crashes and deaths. Plus, the last installment of our State of series. Coming up, our Victoria Holmes shows us the state of the environment in eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, what a beautiful day of weather just to be outside today. A lot of sunshine, comfortably warm temperatures. A few subtle changes lie ahead for the upcoming weekend. We'll talk about the adjustments next.
And now, your accurate Storm Team 9 forecast.
All that sunshine we have seen over the past week, it has really been nice, and another beautiful day of weather outside today, especially along the North Carolina coastal waters. Now, the water temperatures are still a bit chilly. You'll find a lot of folks just kind of hanging out on the beach this time of year, but it has been a picture-perfect day just to pull up an umbrella, sit out there, and enjoy a good book or just some fresh ocean air. You see, a little bit farther inland, we've had a few heat-of-the-day showers and storms trying to develop, but we had a lot of dry air still in place, so it's taken a while to get these thunderstorms organized. The coverage is going to be limited at best out there tonight, but should gradually ramp up a little bit as we move deeper into the upcoming weekend. Currently, we're at 73 degrees here in Greenville. Our dew point is at 61. We've got 71 degrees current air temperature in Washington. Cape Hatteras is at 69, Ahoskie at 71. Goldsboro still takes the prize as one of the warmer spots at 81 degrees over in central Wayne County. You can see a couple of ribbons of showers trying to hold together, but so far the greatest energy for storms has resided from Tennessee northward up into the state of Kentucky. Yesterday we were talking about this storm system, big pinwheel area of low pressure, a strong cold front, but as the front continues to push eastward, it's becoming displaced more and more from its main core of energy. That's why the thunderstorms have been breaking up on approach to central and eastern North Carolina. Still, we do have a nearby stationary front, and over the next few days that might provide a spark for a few disturbances to develop and ride along the boundary and occasionally flare up some thunderstorms. Doesn't mean it's going to rain everywhere all the time. We're going to see plenty of sunshine at times for the next 3 days at least. But as we head into Sunday, a stronger cold front will begin to close in, and that could increase our coverage a little bit of afternoon and evening thunderstorms Sunday. And we'll, of course, be keeping a close eye on any storms that flare up. You can, too, by downloading our Storm Team 9 mobile weather app. Here's your forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, overnight lows in the 50s, slight chance of a few early evening showers or storms. Tomorrow, not a bad day of weather overall, partly cloudy. There will be a few pop-up thunderstorms. Daytime highs will be in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. Cooler for the coastal waters, where seas will average 2 to 3 feet for the ocean, 1 foot for the sounds, moderate chop for the lakes and rivers. That inland Storm Team 9 7-day forecast is showing for touchdown Friday a 50-50 chance of pop-up storms. It's not going to rain everywhere. There will be some sunshine out there to be found, and that'll be the case again for Saturday and Sunday. Now, early next week, temperature readings will be in the low to mid 70s. Lots of sunshine expected, but the chance of rain will be lower next week. In fact, a fairly dry weather pattern looks to be setting up again for most of the work week next week. So if you've been putting off outdoor activities, maybe trying to get some yard work done, more times than not, the weather will cooperate.
Oh, yeah. And you know, Jerry, it's my goal to possibly get some more flowers on my balcony and start that process again. So at least we have some good weather for that.
You really do. And of course, it's spring planting time, so a little bit of rain is not a bad thing. We need some of that, and also to help wash away some of the pollen.
Oh, very true. Thank you so much, Jerry. Well, distracted driving is now the cause of 1 in 5 crashes on North Carolina roads and highways. That's why North Carolina lawmakers are supporting hands-free NC Senate Bill 20. Now, this law is aimed to reduce the number of crashes that result in deaths, injuries, or other costs. One of the bill's sponsors, Senator Kevin Corbin, shares the impact he hopes the law brings to the state.
This is a very important piece of legislation. It's written to be to discourage people from holding a phone in their hand, basically. And with that, we think we can avoid 10 to 15,000 traffic accidents per year, which keeps a lot of people safe.
People that want to help stop distracted driving are encouraged to reach out to your senators to support the bill. We have a link on WNCT.com.
North Carolina is really the jewel on the East Coast in terms of its coastal environment.
How the outdoors have been a refuge for many during the pandemic, what that could mean for the state of our environment, coming up.
This is WNCT 9 on your side, news at 6.
It's been a year since the coronavirus pandemic changed our way of everyday life. 9 on Your Side is devoting a series of stories, videos, and podcasts where we get a perspective on those different parts of life in ENC and how things have changed. This week, digital reporter Victoria Holmes shows us how the Crystal Coast has been a refuge for many.
Many of us rediscovered the outdoors when COVID lockdown started. And while it offered us a place to escape, it also highlighted what could be lost.
This, North Carolina is really the jewel on the East Coast in terms of its coastal environment.
Todd Miller is the director of the North Carolina Coastal Federation.
We've removed about 400 tons of marine debris in the last year. A lot of it was storm related.
The nonprofit has 16,000 supporters and reaches 300,000 people per year, an estimate on the rise since the pandemic.
That's a two-edged sword. You get more people that care about the system, but we all put pressure on the system when we're using it and living here.
Miller says more people went to the coast as an escape from lockdown, but he says that puts pressure on an already strained system. Fishing patterns, rising sea levels, and soil erosion are the end results from that strained system, all caused by global warming.
Some of the predictions, if they come true, are going to be dramatic in terms of land use. If we get a meter rise in sea level in the next, by 2100, it's going to be a whole different system. We want people to take care when they're out and not treat it like a disposable good.
He wants people to know that their actions can have an economic impact as well. Miller says one way you can help out is by ordering shellfish next time you're at a restaurant.
Actually, one of those economic activities that are good for the pocketbook and also good for the environment.
Adult oysters can clean up to 50 gallons a day, and clams can clean about half that amount.
The growth of that industry here on the coast, because we have clean water, has a lot of promise. Actually, the goal is to grow it to about a $100 million industry by 2030 from about $8 million now.
He says people should be careful of items they might have stored at home or in their backyard while in lockdown. Things like antifreeze, oil, and pesticides can hurt our water quality.
A lot of our water quality problems actually come from what we call polluted stormwater runoff.
Overall, Miller sees how the pandemic has made people more appreciative of the area they live in.
It's become more special to them, and when things become more special, people take better care of them.
And before we head outdoors this summer, let's remember to take care of what's around us before it's too late. Victoria Holmes, 9 on Your Side.
And don't forget, every one of our specials for the State of series has its own podcast. Our Victoria Holmes explains how she learned and goes in depth of how the environment has been impacted here in Eastern North Carolina. Of course, listen to that episode now at WNCT.com under the Features tab on the WNCT Podcast Network, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.